Hi, I'm Guna Mathivanan. Welcome to Simply Current Affairs. Before going into today's editorial discussion, let us finish the feedback for the last two videos. Friends, if you're watching this video series for the first time, then please watch the introductory video given in the playlist to know how to participate in this answer writing program. The initiative is open to all. As you all know, we have launched exclusive current affairs as well as economy full course targeting prelims 2026. To know more about the program, you can visit www.simplycurrentaffairs.com, or you can WhatsApp to the number given in this video, or you can click the link given in the description to download the brochure to know more information. Right. So I have to give feedback for the last two videos. So we will start with the feedback for the day 22 question. The patterns of internal migration in India reflect the failure to achieve inclusive development across the country. Comment. So how we have to write the answer? The entire answer you have to highlight how failure of inclusive development resulted is inducing migration. Every point you have to highlight. See, we can start with the introduction with a data point that around 1/3 of the Indian population are migrants. Okay, so you can start with an data point, and from there, this is largely because of the failure to achieve the inclusive development, and come up with your next points. So you are coming up with a data point to prove that there is a lot of rural to urban migration. Then you highlight this is largely caused because of the failure to achieve the inclusive development, and that you substantiate with points. For example, first point, you see a lot of people migrating from states like Bihar, Uttar Pradesh to states like Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, which highlights what? Which highlights an imbalance in the regional development. One region is getting development fast, another region is getting slowly developed. So this disparity in the inclusive development, that is forcing the people for migration. So every point you have to highlight this disparity of inclusive development. Right? Even if you take women, see, majority of the women, they are migrating because of marriages. So in that 50% of them are not getting jobs only. So in India, there is a gender-based lack of inclusiveness with respect to empowerment in the participation in the labor market. So every point you have to highlight that, then you can give your conclusion what we should do. Right. So I have taken the answer of Sri Nayaki. Nayaki, you are improving a lot. This is one of the finest answers. When majority of them have failed to understand what is the exact demand, you are able to catch the exact demand of the question. You are improving a lot. See, everyone, majority are who are consistent. I am able to see an improvement in their answer writing. This is one off question where you would have missed it, but you have learned now. So from now onwards, you are going to understand the actual demand. Now coming to Nayaki's paper, see, she came with a fact for internal migration. Alright, the patterns of internal migration and failure to achieve inclusive development. So she has a subheading and she is highlighting the points. Number 1, regional inequality. Alright, rural distress, absence of non-farm employment, that is pushing the migrant from rural to urban areas. So the disparity is what is highlighted here. Regional inequality, rural distress. Right, and urban exclusion. So according to PLFS data, 90% of the workforce to the urban areas are informal sector with lack of social security. Lack of social security means lack of inclusiveness. You work in government sector, you work in a proper private sector, you are included with benefits, but here there is lack of inclusion. Right? Gender nature. See, 48% of women migrants owing to marriage don't find employment in urban areas. When men is able to get, women is unable to get. Right? That highlights the disparity. Right? And census 2011 data, 12% of the interstate migrants, they owing to fear of cultural barriers, right, probability benefits, just fear only. One section of the people are able to get benefited of all the progress. Another section, out of basic fear, they are missing it out. So all these highlights the disparity. Right, Nayaki, I would suggest you in every point try to explicitly underline the disparity. Okay, here some points you have not mentioned, I am extending it. I am highlighting the disparity. If you can mention that, great. So what is required? There is need for a balanced regional growth, diversify the livelihood opportunities, ensure the portable welfare. See, one nation, one ration, we have it. A lot of people, they are not aware. Ground level implementation, that's a challenge. But one nation, one ration. So what you can say? The effective implementation of this portable welfare, right, expanding the skills. So then finally conclusion, migration is not a shame. It should not be out of force or compulsion. Okay, so yes, good attempt. Could have been little better. In every point, if you could have highlighted that lack of inclusiveness, it would have been great. Right, that is your intent, I am able to understand. But if you can mention, it would be great. Then for day 23, the question is regarding AMR. So Dr. Rupavi made the video. So I will be giving you the comment for that question as well. Despite widespread acknowledgement of antimicrobial resistance as a major health challenge, the effective mitigation remains elusive. Examine the shortcomings in addressing this issue. So in the introduction, what you can do, you can highlight the widespread acknowledgement, what WHO is saying. So it is said that by 2050, every year 1 crore people will be killed because of antimicrobial resistance. Right. So then you are giving the fact. The question says, despite of acknowledgement, despite of effective mitigation despite of all these awareness, the effective mitigation remains elusive. That means there is an understanding that this is a serious problem. Despite of that understanding, the mitigation remains elusive. That means at least in one point you have to mention the efforts taken by the global institution. This question is not with respect to India. This question is a global question. Okay. So despite the efforts taken by, you can mention about some efforts taken by WHO. Okay. So seriousness with the fact. Highlight that despite of efforts taken by various countries, governments or WHO, the effective mitigation remains elusive because of various shortcomings. So explain the shortcomings one by one. Okay, easy question. But what we noticed is a lot of students, they were not highlighting the efforts part. At least one line, it's better to give the efforts. That is, highlight the fact, highlight the efforts. Despite of these efforts, the mitigation remains elusive because of following reasons. So even here, Jayalakshya, yes, you have good content, you have a lot of content, but the problem is you are exceeding the word limit. Anyone who sees your answer will say, you are exceeding the word limit, okay. So you have given the introduction, you have explained what is this antimicrobial resistance. You have given a fact that this could be a threat in 2050 by WHO's fact you have mentioned, great. At the same time, also another line you can include, or another 2 lines you can include, where you highlight that despite of these efforts taken by WHO or different countries, that link point, okay, that is important. Then shortcomings point, fragmented governance. See, this question is not with respect to India. You can mention the efforts taken by India, no problem. That can come little later. Okay. So, fragmented governance, for example, India has launched National Action Plan on AMR, but only 7 states have adopted. Fair point. Unregulated antibiotic use. This is general for all the countries. So, despite of Schedule H classification, again, you are pertaining your answer with respect to India, but still fine. We can bring it a little later. So, we have a classification, scheduled classification. So, which says that a study shows that 47% of antibiotics are sold without prescriptions. Right. So, fragmented governance, despite of a legislation, despite of a rule and regulation that Scheduled H drugs should not be available over the counter without prescription, but still it is made available. Okay, that is a problem. Environment contamination, antibiotic residues are found in 58% of the river water samples. Right. So this this creates antibiotic-rich environment, creates multi-drug resistance. Again, I see that all your points are with respect to India. Okay, that alone which you have to keep it in mind. Then weak diagnostic capacity. India lacks basic microbiology labs. In the question, did we give anything about India? Despite widespread acknowledgement of antimicrobial resistance as a major health challenge, effective mitigation remains elusive. Examine the shortcomings addressing the issue. Okay, see all this point you can convert, you can make it more generic. We can say example India and you can make it more generic, right? Weak diagnostic. And the biggest problem is the question, predominant part of the question you have to highlight for shortcomings, right? You have given it for way forward. For 10 marker question, way forward should not be this much. And the question is not about way forward also. Your way forward points are fine, but you have devoted so much of space. And also you have brought in AMR vicious cycle. This is a very good way of explaining, but this could have been either brought little front. Or after this, you could have given this cycle here. After this, you could have started your way forward. That could have been better. Okay. So disproportionate weightage for your way forward is the problem here. So apart from the launching national One Health mission linking human animal environment is fine. Provide prescriptions, sales through digital health ID is fine. AMR audit is fine. Okay, think before you take campaign is fine. So these 4 points you could have made it more precise into a smaller paragraph and you could have given a way forward. This could have been this much space can be occupied for this AMR vicious cycle, then your answer could have been much more better. Okay, just word limit you have to keep it in mind. And finally, you have given a conclusion with respect to SDG 3. That is also fine. So it's a slow pandemic undermining the SDG 3. Alright, so moving towards One Health approach is what is more important. Your answer is good, your flow is good. Initially in the introduction part, one link point was missing, disproportionate weightage for way forward. In the presentation part, I said you could have used this AMR vicious cycle illustration can be brought into a half a page. Then you could have effectively managed this page and your answer also would have looked even more better. Some more points could have been added for the shortcomings. You please go through our answer key. Alright. So yes, so now we will move on to today's editorial. So today we have taken an editorial topic from the Indian Express. The topic deals with the recently proposed amendments to the Information Technology Act 2021. To understand this article, we have to understand what is synthetic content. Synthetic content are those content, be it image, video or audio, which is created using artificial intelligence, wholly or partially. Deep fake is a synthetic content which is created using artificial intelligence, where usually a person is replaced by someone else in the video or image or in the audio. So this results in impacting, tarnishing the reputation of the individuals. So to regulate this, to bring accountability, to bring transparency, to create an ethical governance of artificial intelligence, government has proposed amendment. Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has proposed amendments to Information Technology Act 2021. So this act is first explaining what is the synthetic content. I have explained, right? So it is explaining what is synthetic content. And this act is putting a condition for the content developers. What condition? 10% rule. What is this 10% rule? Now assume that you are creating an image using artificial intelligence. Then 10% of that image should be used to mention that this is a synthetic content. Or I am making a 10 minutes video using artificial intelligence. Then 1 minute of my video should be used for mentioning that this is an artificial intelligence made content. Or if I am making an audio, okay, music using artificial intelligence. Let's say I am making a 60 seconds music. Then 6 seconds of my music, my audio should mention that this is a synthetic content, AI made content. This is the 10% labeling rule. right? Then whenever a user is uploading the content, then the user should declare, let's say I'm uploading a video in the YouTube, assume. So where I have to declare, YouTube should enable that feature. I have to declare this is a synthetic content. Or if I am manipulating it, then YouTube should come up with a feature to detect whether my video is synthetic content or not. This proposed amendment is also talking about safe harbor provision. Safe harbor means, let us assume that I am YouTube. Now you are uploading the content. Now that is an AI content. You have, tarnishing the image of some leaders. Assume that. Now I am an intermediary where you use my platform to upload the videos. Now the video is creating huge impact to the society. How YouTube will be responsible for that? But however, this act says, YouTube, I understand, but you should also hold responsibility because they are using your platform. So whenever you detect some video made out of synthetic content, then you have to take action. That means, let's assume that I am uploading, someone is uploading an AI content, but the uploading person should mention, voluntarily should mention that, okay, this is an AI content, but I am not mentioning it. I am misusing it. I am trying to create some chaos in the society. Then YouTube should see that and should remove it immediately and also put in penal action. So you should not simply, remain silent. YouTube or any other social media platform, when they come to know that such videos are being used for creating chaos, to create some problem, then YouTube should also feel responsible to take action on it. Okay, if they take action, then no problem, they are safe. But if they do not take action, then that safe harbor principle will not be applicable on YouTube. YouTube will also be punished. Alright, interesting, right? But however, there are some challenges in implementing these rules and regulations. The biggest challenge the author is highlighting is enforcement. Intent of the government is good, great. But practically enforcing this is going to be very, very, very challenging. You know what? In one day only, in Instagram, almost 1.5 crore reels are being uploaded. In YouTube, close to 80 lakhs video is getting uploaded. In an ocean of videos in India, do you think that it becomes easy to go and check every video whether they have met the 10% rule? That is going to be very, very challenging. So we will end up depending on an automation system. And what if that automation system is not so great? What if the automation system is being manipulated? What if the automation system is not robust? So this implementation, intent to implementation, that is going to be very, very challenging. Right? Number two, look at this 10% rule only. See, let's take I make a video of, let's say 60 minutes, 1 hour video. According to 10% rule, 6 minutes I have to mention that this is an synthetic content. Don't you think that the 6 minutes can be cropped easily? Even if it is going to be audio, it can be cropped. Even if it is going to be an image, that can be cropped. Right? There will be other artificial intelligence tools only will be available to crop these items. So this 10% rule cannot be practical solution. Right? See, apart from that, look at the biggest challenge. This AI is aiding innovation, is aiding creativity. Now assume that I am an educator, okay? To convey the content, to effectively transfer the knowledge, assume I am making a video using artificial intelligence. Now, of course, I am going to be very, very responsible, but if I am brought under serious scrutiny, regulation, then I will not be motivated to use this tool only. Then this rules and regulation can stifle my innovation. It can stifle the creativity in the country. Right? So these are the practical challenges which government has to take into consideration. And also, look, millions of people every single day, millions of content is getting uploaded. That means millions of users are in social media platform. More than 1 crore people should be easily available in the social media platforms. They are from different regions. So we have a multilingual digital population in our social media platforms. Now explaining all these rules, content to every one of them is not going to be easy. There is every chance that these rules can be misinterpreted and that can be leading to different new set of problems. So what can be done? what is the solution the author is highlighting? See, the number one is, first of all, make the people more conscious, more aware of what is an AA content, what is an synthetic content. Create that awareness from school level, from community level, create the awareness. It is going to be challenging, not easy, but create that. Number two, we can come up with more digital verification. For example, it should not be very easy for an user to just like that upload a video and publish it. There should be some kind of layer of detection, layer of filtering. At least we have to have a registry. Let's say, for example, if I wanted to upload the video, then I should give my digital signature. I should be verified properly. So that is going to deter me in uploading some chaotic videos. Okay, and automation I was mentioning. So in a day only we have 10 crore videos circulating in our social media platforms. Now, watching every video for the 10% is going to be difficult, but we have to depend on some automation system. So to bring that automation system, what we can do, we can have a broad-based consultation. Let's bring all the stakeholders. Let us discuss about the challenges. Now create a robust verification mechanism, and we have to ensure that it is robust. Okay, so we will put that in place first. Even before coming up with a law in a hurry, we will put that in place first, so that the implementation becomes more effective. See, we understand the intent of the government is to come up with a model of ethical governance framework for usage of artificial intelligence, no doubt. But at the same time, this should not stifle innovation. The rules or the regulation efforts taken by the government should guide the content makers, should guide the content developers, to become more responsible. Rather, this should not stifle the innovation. Right? So this is about the article today. Now, based on our discussion, I'll give you a question. Enforcement of government rules to regulate digital content is highly challenging. Analyze the statement with respect to recently proposed draft amendments to IT Rules 2021. 10-marker question. So submit your answers before 9 a.m. tomorrow and send me an email at upsc@gunasar@gmail.com. Once after sending, please mention your name in the comment section saying that you have sent the email. And also, if you have any other suggestion to address this problem of synthetic content is not a problem. When that becomes a deep fake and that is misused, then that becomes a problem. So if you have any suggestions how to tackle this, please give it in the comment section. Right friends, I will see you tomorrow. Till then, bye. Take care from Guna Mathivanan.